Ever wonder why, despite earning a decent income, your bank account seems to have a leak? It's like your money has developed an escape plan, and it's way better at it than Houdini. Well, it's time to put on your detective hat because we are about to uncover the 9 culprits. These are the sneaky money habits that, unbeknownst to you, might be the reason your cash keeps pulling a disappearing act. From the notorious budget blunder to the elusive investment ignorance, we've got some surprising suspects on our list. So buckle up as we dive into the world of these sneaky habits that are secretly eating up your wealth. First on our list is the budget blunder. This is when you think budgeting is as fun as watching paint dry. But let's face it, folks, budgeting is the financial equivalent of a diet plan. No one likes it, but it's essential. Without a budget, your spending can go haywire faster than a cat chasing a laser pointer. It's like sailing on a rudderless ship, not knowing where the wind might blow you. A budget is your financial compass, guiding you towards your money goals while keeping impulsive purchases at bay. It doesn't have to be as dreary as it sounds. Think of it as your personal money game plan, where you're the coach and the player. So, if you've been avoiding budgeting like avoiding a root canal, it's time to rethink your strategy. Next up, we have the debt trap. This is when your credit card is your best friend and you're only making minimum payments. Now let's imagine your credit card as a sneaky little imp, always whispering sweet nothings about that fancy dinner or the latest smartphone. It's all fun and games until the bill comes knocking at your door. Accumulating credit card debt is like inviting a vampire into your home. It seems harmless at first, but soon enough, it's draining your financial lifeblood. The interest piles up, and before you know it, you're in a financial graveyard buried under a mountain of debt. But don't worry, there's a silver bullet for this monster. Paying more than the minimum payment. It's like giving that imp a good kick, showing it who's boss. It might sting at first, but trust me, it's the first step towards breaking free from the debt trap. Your credit card can be a powerful tool if used wisely. It can help you build credit, earn rewards, and cover emergencies. But like any tool, it can cause damage if mishandled. So instead of letting it control you, take charge. Remember, your credit card is a tool, not a magic wand. Before we move on, let's talk about the subscription sucker. This is when you're signed up for more subscriptions than you can count or even use. These are like silent vampires, quietly sucking away at your bank account every month. You may be thinking, it's just a few bucks a month, but trust me, it adds up. It's time to do a subscription audit. Scrutinize your bank statement, identify what you're paying for, and ask yourself if you really need it. If the answer is no, it's time to hit that unsubscribe button. And speaking of subscriptions, if you're finding these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our money-saving advice. Now let's get back to breaking down those financial traps. Moving on to the savings scarcity. This is when your savings account is as barren as a desert. It's like having a safety net with more holes than net. Saving regularly is essential, but often overlooked. Without it, we're just one unexpected expense away from a financial crisis. It's the financial equivalent of going out in the rain without an umbrella. You're just begging to get soaked. Now, regular saving doesn't mean you have to live like a hermit, cutting out all the joys of life. But it does mean setting aside a bit of your income consistently. Think of it as paying your future self. And that future self will thank you when an unexpected expense comes knocking, or when you decide to take that dream vacation. Not saving regularly can leave you financially vulnerable. Imagine playing a high-stakes game of tag with your bills and you're always it. That's no fun, right? But a healthy savings account can change the game. It gives you a buffer, a sense of financial security. It's like having a financial superhero ready to save the day when things get tough. So, if your savings account looks like it's been on a diet, it's time to feed it regularly. Let's turn that savings scarcity into a savings surplus. Remember, a penny saved is a penny earned, and those pennies can quickly add up to some serious dough. Now let's talk about the impulsive shopping spree. This is when you see a sale sign and your heart races faster than a NASCAR driver. We've all been there, right? One minute you're walking by a store, the next you're walking out with bags full of items you never intended to buy. It's like your credit card has a mind of its own. Impulsive shopping can often lead to unnecessary spending. You see, the thrill of getting a deal can sometimes cloud our judgment. We end up buying things we don't really need, or worse, items we'll never use. But don't worry, there's a light at the end of the shopping aisle. You can overcome this impulsive shopping spree by practicing mindful spending. Before making a purchase, ask yourself if you really need the item, or are you just drawn to the shiny sale sign? And remember, It's not a bargain if it's going to sit in your closet collecting dust. It's also a good idea to set a budget for discretionary spending. This includes things like dining out, entertainment, and yes, shopping. By setting a limit, you're less likely to go on an unplanned shopping spree and more likely to make thoughtful purchases. So the next time you're tempted by a sale, take a moment to reflect. Remember, a sale is not a sale if you're buying things you don't need. Next, we have the investment ignorance. This is when you think investing is only for the Wall Street wolves. But let's debunk that myth right now. Investing isn't just for the Gordon Geckos of the world. It's for everyone, and it's a crucial step towards financial freedom. You see, keeping your money in a savings account might seem safe, but with inflation, the value of your money actually decreases over time. It's like trying to keep ice cream from melting by storing it in a cupboard. It just doesn't work. Investing, on the other hand, is like putting that ice cream in a freezer. It preserves and even grows the value of your money over time. It's not just about buying stocks or properties either. It could be investing in a business, a mutual fund, or even in yourself through education. Remember, not investing your savings is like running a marathon but stopping at the last mile. You've done all the hard work of saving, but you're missing out on the sweet reward of watching your money grow. So if you've been treating investing like a horror movie, it's time to face your fears. Last but not least, we have the lifestyle leap. This is when you increase your spending as your income increases. Now, I get it. We all want to enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? Who doesn't want a shiny new car, a bigger house, or that dream vacation when the paycheck gets a little plump? But here's the catch, friends. This leap can quickly turn into a long fall if we're not careful. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it's a sneaky little villain. It creeps up on us, and before we know it, we're living paycheck to paycheck, even though we're earning more than we ever did. Think about it. Every time you get a raise, your expenses magically seem to increase too. That once-a-week fancy coffee becomes a daily habit. The occasional luxury dinner turns into a weekly event. The small apartment doesn't feel enough anymore, and you're eyeing that penthouse across the street. But here's the harsh truth. When you let your lifestyle inflate with every raise, you're not building wealth. You're just running on a hamster wheel, going faster, but not getting anywhere. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much water you pour in, it's never going to be full. So if your lifestyle leaps faster than a frog in a pond every time you get a raise, it's time to rein it in. Now that you've seen these sneaky wealth-eating habits, what are you going to do about them? It all starts with acknowledging the need for change. Take a moment and reflect on your financial habits. Identify where you are falling short. Is it the budgeting blunder, the debt trap, the savings scarcity, the impulsive shopping spree, the investment ignorance, or the lifestyle leap? Once you've pinpointed your weak areas, it's time to take action. Start by setting a budget. Know where your money is going each month. Pay off your debts, especially those with high interest rates. They're like leeches sucking your wealth away. Then, cultivate a habit of saving regularly. No amount is too small. And hey, let's end those impulsive shopping sprees. Remember, just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need it. And don't forget to invest. It's not rocket science, and it's the best way to grow your wealth. Lastly, be mindful of lifestyle inflation. As your income increases, it's tempting to upgrade your lifestyle. But remember, wealth isn't about how much you earn, but how much you keep. Remember, your money habits can make or break your financial future. So start making changes today and watch your wealth grow tomorrow.